Alright, everyone. Make sure the stream's looking good. It is looking fine. Okay, so this is Resident Evil 7's review. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Now, this game was a great game. I wrote down some points on a piece of paper here in front of me, just like I did for the Batman Arkham Origins. I just wrote down like what I'm gonna talk about. It's not the whole script, it's just points like story slash DLC. That's what I do. So this is all coming from me. As a Resident Evil 7 fan, I was very shocked with this game. Now, this is the very first game they went from third person. Here, I'll show you. This is third person. Um, this is Resident Evil 4, and it was third person. Every Resident Evil game was third person until you hit Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Now, Biohazard really switched it up and they made it first person, okay? So, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is first person, so that's like a Call of Duty kind of mode. So if I could show you guys some videos, hold up. Okay, let's see here. So Resident Evil 7, um, Resident Evil 7. Then we want to go over here and we want to see first person. Now I'm gonna just show you what I mean. Like I could be using my own content for this. Sorry, man. If you don't mind me using your content, just check this guy out. KIC Fire. I used to watch him with his stuff back then. Alright. Skip. Let's go over here. So, first person, as you can see here, walking around, picking up stuff. This is first person, okay? You're walking and you're like seeing through yourself, just like you would see normal. And then we got, so next up, we just talked about third person and first person. First person makes it way scarier. And when I say way scarier, I mean way scarier. Like, I don't get scared often, but this game was an adventure. Okay, so let's just go on from first person. You guys can see the idea. They took a big risk, but the big risk, that's my fan. The big risk really worked out. So what's next? In this photo. So Resident Evil 7, these are cannibals. You can think of Resident Evil 7 as kind of a Texas Chainsaw kind of thing, I guess. Because they're cannibals and they're trying to kill you. And they're all like infected at the same time. So like Leatherface doesn't die easy. These guys don't die easy. This guy becomes like some kind of big spider or something. This girl becomes spider. He's just messed up, I guess. And him, he never dies. So we got that. Compared to Texas Chainsaw, it's about cannibals. Um, the story. Now, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the story is one of my favorite Resident Evil 7 games in the story mode. So, I mean, Resident Evil 8 Vintage, I have it. If you guys want to see a review or maybe some gameplay of that, I could post that maybe if you want. And yeah, so the DLCs. I didn't ever play the DLCs, so I can't review you guys on the DLCs. But let's not focus on DLCs. Characters, we come in with new characters. We got Ethan Winters and Mia Winters. You play as Ethan Winters. Since you're in first person, you will never be able to see his face. But they will be making a third person for Resident Evil 8 Vintage if you want to check that out. So, the characters, I mean, they aren't that bad. You start off with Ethan and you end with Ethan. You play a bit as Mia in some parts. Not sure about Zoe because I didn't choose the Zoe part, but I had Mia for a few parts and Ethan. So as Ethan, you're trying to save Mia from the Baker family, which are these three lovely folks, um, which give you a hell of a time. So that's the story, and the characters are pretty good for a switch up. Now, what else do I want? Weapons. Okay, so the weapons we got some. What do we got? Shotguns, pistols. We got what's it called? A pocket knife even. So the pocket knife isn't really effective, I guess. But if it's your last resort, take it, okay? We got the pistol, which was with me the whole game. We got the shotgun, which is like overpowered. Depends which shotgun we're talking about, but the shotgun's very good. So the weapon choice wasn't bad. I did not write this one down, but I would think it's good to tell you guys. So in the cage, when you need the amount of keys or whatever, the coins, I mean, to open the cage to get the weapons and perks, or not perks and coins and other stuff in the cages. It's too hard to find coins. Okay, so they made the game extra hard. I know it's a Resident Evil game, but when you want a gun, you shouldn't have to knock that hard for coins. But I guess there's special guns. Next up is the enemies. So we fought the whole Baker family throughout the game, and I would say it was great. They were great enemies. They're considered bosses, great bosses for a Resident Evil game. But only thing we did was the molded. So the molded, that's a crocodile. Um, these are the molded. So the molded is that, and they don't they scare you at first maybe when they jump scare you and you're walking and then they just pop out. But once you get through that, you can just understand you won't get scared. But that's all the enemies there really was. If they would have added more enemies, it would have been more scarier. Now back to where I was. Inventory. Now the inventory was really good in this game. I always had to put stuff back into my chest, but I didn't mind it because I always found enough ammo, and it really depends on the difficulty you choose. But if you really want to have a good Resident Evil game with some good inventory, you still gotta make it hard. Now we have three things here. We got the puzzles. So when I say puzzles, I mean statues. They made it kind of easy to find the puzzles. They could have made it a bit harder. Like the dog heads when I first ever played it when the game came out. Not exactly when the game came out, but not soon after because I got it soon after. But it was the puzzles wasn't that hard. So the statue wasn't hard, but the dog heads they really messed me up. So the dog heads, I'll give a shout out to those. You did really good hiding those, and yeah. So the final thing, they didn't change the game into an action. Okay, they could have made it into an action horror. They kept it a still survival horror game. Now that's very good for Resident Evil. They really brought back the 1980s, 1990s Resident Evil. I'm not really sure when they made the first one, but they brought that back. Now my final rating for this game, since I am a Resident Evil fan, I didn't mind it, but the final rating is a 7 out of 10. Okay, so if you guys really want to play this game, it's 2022 now. Have fun, pick it up. It's on Game Pass right now. It's free, or buy it on CD. I bought it at a pawn shop for. Actually, no, it was a $80 game which I got for free from a friend. But pick it up if you really want to get a spook, because Resident Evil is one of the biggest games on Xbox. If you want some jump scares and some horror and some just a good night of pissing yourself. Okay, so check it out if you've never seen it again, seen it before, and I'll see y'all next time. Tell me what other reviews I should do. Have a good one.